Hi, welcome to the part 7 of this video series. Please subscribe to my channel. For questions 1 to 33, please refer parts 1 to 6 of this series. Also, there are n number of videos in this playlist for AZ900. These questions are still relevant. Together, you can successfully pass the exam. Let's jump into the questions. Question 34. So there are 3 questions in one question. You will get similar format in the exam. Availability zones can be implemented in all regions. This statement is not totally correct. See this documentation here, it provides you all the regions which have AZs, okay, but there are some regions which don't have AZs, hence this statement is false. So the answer for this one would be no. Let's look at the second one. Only virtual machines that runs Windows can be created in AZs? No. So different flavors of Linux or Windows is supported by the virtual machines. So Linux is supported, Windows is also supported. Hence, the answer is no, because it's not just Windows, but Linux and Ubuntu or other OS or other flavors of Linux are supported. So the third statement says that AZs are used to replicate data and applications in multiple regions. So it's not the AZs, it is there are some services which is used to replicate. So if it is a database like Cosmos DB, then this database service itself has features for cross-region replication. So if you see this documentation, it is capable to distribute the data globally. So this statement is false as well. So this is the answer. All three the answers are no. Let's look at 35. So this is the question. So you have an Azure VM and you have data disks for these VMs. You need to choose where will you store the unmanaged data disks. Let me start from bottom, that is Q. So Q primarily is used for real-time streaming data. So Q cannot be the answer for unmanaged data disks. So tables is used for cloud-based NoSQL data store. This is like database where but a NoSQL database. It's a non-relational database. But this is not a database. These are just unmanaged data disks. So these are unmanaged data disks are usually unstructured, but tables will store structured but non-relational data. File share. So it is used to store files, something like a log file. So if you go to Windows Explorer and if you map a different drive and you can create like a mount and a different drive. So suppose F drive or E drive, which points to some other drive in the network. That's a file share kind of. So it is used to store files, not to store entire disk images and so on. So that leaves us with containers, and containers are used to store unmanaged disks. So if you see this documentation, containers are set of blobs, okay, and similar to a directory in a file system. It can include unlimited number of containers, and containers can store unlimited number of blobs. This is exactly what we need for disk storage. Hence, container is the right answer. Question 36. There is a company, it has various servers, and these need to be moved to Azure. So from on-prem, it needs to move to Azure. So there is a server called Fin server. This will be on a separate network segment, and all others will be in a separate segment. Now we have to select out of these options which will meet this compliance policy. See, whenever we talk about separate network segment, we're talking about virtual networks, and other options they don't have virtual networks. A and D are totally wrong because they're talking about resource groups. Putting into resource groups will not split them into different virtual networks. So A and D are grossly wrong. Okay. B is our answer. 37. See, there are various servers which are running on Windows 10, and you want to map a drive to an Azure storage so that it will appear as a shared drive. So whenever you have such kind of shared drive, file share requirements, you have to use a file service. That's the thumb rule. So this is a thumb rule. So if you have a requirement for mapped drive or file share, always use file service storage type. Please subscribe to my channel. This brings us to the end of part 7. See you in the next part.